Welcome to Carny To Congress podcast. Your host, Adam Botana, along with my great co-host, buddy, pal,
Jake the Millennial.
What's up, Jake? How you doing?
Doing well. How are you, sir?
Yeah, that's old school. I usually always started with that, but now you know what? We're getting back into it. It just popped in my head. Sorry, I've been driving all day. It's been a lot.
Back in the saddle.
It's great. It's great to be here. I got my Wybetta on. Wybetta. It's got 4 pockets. This is the old Cuban tradition shirt. Used to buy them for my grandfather when I was a kid. I was over in Miami. The Department of Justice had an indictment for Raul Castro, so I was over there at the Liberty Hotel, so Liberty Tower, Freedom Tower. It was great to kind of see that. There's 500 Cuban political people in that room, and it was nice. It was good. It was a lot of people, a lot of happy people. We're going to indict them, and the press was like, well, what are you going to do? We all just said to ourselves, maybe talk to Nicolas Maduro, see what we did to him. He was indicted. So, be a lot of good things for the Cuban people. I know tonight they're going to be banging on pots and pans in front of Versailles, one of the best restaurants ever, Jake. I brought him back some guava pastries. Jake doesn't even like guava, and he's eating a guava pastry. He's like, this is pretty good.
It was wonderful, actually. I'm going to take one with me, probably.
Not as good as Mom's key lime pie, but it was good. And folks, we're back on the Fox News channel, 92.5 Fox News. Every Sunday morning, we changed it from Saturday to Sunday, and a little bit earlier, 6 to 7 a.m. Every Sunday you can come on there and listen to Jake and I talk. Or you can go on our website, carnytocongress.com. That's carny2congress.com. You Google Adam Botana, it'll pop up. But you can go right on there and you can subscribe. We've got a YouTube channel. We got Spotify. Jake's had all the things. He did a great job on a website. Starts with a little cinnamon roll trailer, carnival, switches up to Capitol Hill. It's pretty neat. It's good stuff. And our intro is amazing too. So
I hope you like that.
Good job, Jake. Good job. But yeah, no, it was great to be over in Miami. We were there talking. Went over and seen Representative Alex Rizzo, who represents parts of Hialeah. Seen Vicky Lopez, who's another representative now, as a county commissioner over there. And we went to the Brigade, the Bay of Pigs Museum, which was a great thing. It was good to go see these guys that fought, for independence, and they were left on the beach. Pretty bad deal. Not happy with Kennedy at all about that one, but we'll get into that another day. So that was a little different there, but great museum, great people, and these guys are, in their mid 80s, and they still got fire, So, but it was a great opportunity to go over there, see a bunch of fellow Republicans and Democrats, and just people happy to see indict this. So they indicted him because I remember when I was a kid, Jake. I think it was in '96. There used to be the Brothers in Freedom. But we're hearing Larry come back in and his Genesis. But anyways. In '96, I was a kid. I was young, so I was 12. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, 12. And there would be these Brothers in Liberty or something, and they would fly in just planes and look for rafters. They'd be in international waters because this is before GPSs and people trying to get out of Cuba, trying to make it to the Keys, trying to make it to Miami. So they would fly, and then they would radio in, hey, there's a raft with some people on there, and from what I understand, Raul Castro scrambled a couple planes, jets, and missile-to-missile shot these American citizens down. 2 planes. So you're talking a military jet shooting down just not even a commercial plane on a fight. I mean, it's just a residential plane, just a normal plane. Killed 4 people. So they indicted him on that. So it was in international waters. So we're going to see. But that happened. I mean, this... Donald Trump doesn't mess around. I think it's great. It's great for Florida. It's great for the Cuban people. They need to get rid of the whole Castro regime down there. My dad never went down there, chose never to go there. I mean, he came over in 1968. He was 13 years old. Came over on the Freedom flights. He was 13. My grandparents came over. They spent a week at the Freedom Tower, the Liberty Hotel, and then they came over to Naples right after that. So can you imagine just picking up everything, Jake, and just... gone.
I can't.
It was, my dad would tell me some stories. It was pretty bad. I mean, because he was a 13-year-old boy. My grandfather was, he was a political prisoner over there. He had a mouth like me, so he always opened it, and he pissed off somebody the wrong way, and here comes the military police one day, just come up, pick him up, say, you're a threat against the revolution. So they picked him up, and he's like, "Are you kidding me?" No. Picked him up in a Jeep, took him to jail. They brought him in there, and there's the book, and the guy's there, and it says, "Well, you're a threat to the revolution." He says, "No, I'm not." He goes, "Well, either you sign this book that says that you're a threat to the revolution, or we take you out back in the shooting squad." Okay, I'm a threat to the revolution. So he signed the book, and he was a political prisoner for 6-7 months, and I never talked to my grandfather about it. I was younger. He passed away when I was pretty young. And we just never had that chance to have the conversation. I remember talking to my dad, and when he did get home, luckily, my grandmother was with my dad when he was a small boy. So this was when he was probably 10 or something. They were at the courthouse and bumped into somebody and like, "What are you doing here?" He says, "Omar," that's my dad's name and my grandfather's name. Omar's in prison, political prisoner, and happened to know somebody, and they were able to work it out and get him out. But when my dad said when he got home, he would just sit there and cry. That my grandfather would just sit there and stare out the window and cry. So that tells you that's probably some bad stuff that he went through over there. He did tell us a couple stories when we were kids, that they took him out, and Castro wanted to make Cuba a huge coffee. He wanted to make it like the biggest coffee producer in the world. So they were planting coffee everywhere, in ditches, on roads, just everywhere. Everything belonged to the government. Fields, they're just planting coffee everywhere. And so they take these crews out there and they work, and they would, go in there, and one guy scratched his eye, and the whatever fertilizer in there caused him to lose his eye. And then my grandfather talked about stories where they would be in a cell that could hold like 50 people, and they'd have 120 in there, Jake. And he would have to sleep on your side, and some reason, a guard didn't like you, or you just, something happened. They just come in the middle of the night, grab you, and you disappear. Never see him again. There was a story that he said they dug a hole because it was like there was a courtyard in the middle of this prison that was over there, and it's probably a fort, from way back in the day. But they dug a hole and they put a water container, like a water tower. They chained a guy down, and they would throw him a piece of bread every day, and they had water dripping on his forehead. And I guess it makes you go crazy. It's called Chinese water torture. And they, did that to a guy, and he was in there for like a week, and he came out nuts. So pretty bad stuff, and it was bad. I mean, they were even saying today that the acting DOJ general, I think his name's Blanchett, but he's like, this is stuff that we do for the people, for here, but just horrible stuff that, the Castro brothers, like my dad, he never even liked leaving the country. It was a big deal for him to go to Canada. He'd go to Central America because he could speak the language, he felt more comfortable, but he did not like leaving the U.S. at all. He just, this is his home. But there were some stories he told me about, and it was pretty bad. And when my dad left, he was 13, and at 14, they usually recruit you, mandatory to go into the military, and that's when communism was spreading and going in. He was supposed to go to Angola because they were fighting in Africa to spread communism, So it's a tough deal. Luckily, they were able to get out, and my dad was in school, and this is like he's 12, so you're what? He's, middle school probably, maybe a little bit younger. And they would come into the classroom, and they would ask, who are the worms that are leaving? Stand up. And they'd make the kids stand up that are leaving and say, "Oh, look at these worms. They're leaving the country. They're going to the Imperials." So I'm sure that messed up with my dad. They kind of got a little shook up about that. But they came, so they were able to leave because they had a sponsor to take them. And I've talked about this on the show before, but they were able to leave, and you have to turn everything into the government, which everything was already turned into the government, but you have to give everything over. They have to go sign the book, and there was this, my grandfather said, there was this piece of crap, this big piece of shit, that was this communist guy. And there was a book, and the guy says, "Oh, you have a child that's 13. Well, if you want him to go, you have to round up this X amount of dollars to pay to leave. Does it ever go to the revolution, or does it just go to the guy's pocket?" So my grandparents and ran around and were able to scrape money together and figure out, beg, promise, and steal to get my dad out, and they were able to. And then they showed up in the middle of the night. So it was my dad, he was 13, and then it was my grandmother and my grandfather, and then his grandmother. So my dad's grandmother, I believe. And they were just banging on the door, like, time to go, time to get out, time to get out, time to get out, and then my grandfather's yelling back, like, let us, this lady's, 70 years old. It's hard for her to walk. So they're able to get out. So they went in a Jeep, and so they were driving away, and yeah, it's tough. Anyways, it was tough because, the dogs were chasing them down the street. So it's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Can't cut it. Can't cut it.
So
it's real.
It's rough. So it was great to be over there. I want to go have pastry now.
Well, it's good. I'm glad you were out there today. Because honestly, I had no idea what you were doing today. When I got over here, I talked to your glorious dock master.
Larry. I don't know what he's doing. He's just doing something. So.
And I told Larry, I was like, Larry, I texted him a bunch today, and he's been very short and quick. So whatever he's doing, it's got to be important. So just he'll be here when he gets here.
I was here right at 6 o'clock at 5:59. I rolled in.
Right on the money.
Right on the money. So it was good. Thanks for coming down.
No, but it's good what you're doing, man.
Yeah. So that was good to go over there and see that. So that was fun. So yeah. So now we're back here. Got this cool shirt. Representative Rizzo gave me this Wayetta. It's Irish linen, I guess. He. I mean, this is nice. It's got it's got pockets. So you always just see it's like a barber shirt, because you got pockets. You always see the guys that have it. So it's got 4 pockets. It's formal. I don't have a V-neck because you got to have some of the meatloaf come out. But that's just what it is. But it was great to be on there. So it was nice to have a little bit of the heritage.
Yeah, you have a real nice glow to you on camera. So.
It's my great technology crew right here.
Yeah.
Jake and Jake, so he's doing it. We have a switchboard and everything else going. So we're getting better. I mean, the videos are getting better and better every time we upload and have no shorts. It's just like, oh, look at that. You can see
it's going to continue to get better.
Every wrinkle. You can see every wrinkle.
No, you really can.
every zit. Like, well, it does have some hair there. I need to trim it up a little bit.
I was actually I'm thinking about getting us some cool little graphics at the bottom, so whenever you say sponsored by, I can click a little button.
I like that.
And it'll show at the bottom, sponsored by Bay Waterboat Club.
Put the logo on it.
Little phone number and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's good.
So it'll be real cool.
No, I like it. I think we got 5,000 views, a couple other ones. Hey, it's still rolling. We'll see. We're back on the radio, so people will be happy. And Jake cut a quick little intro, so it was good. Intro, and then got a commercial out there, so tune in every Sunday morning, 6 to 7 o'clock. Every Sunday morning, 6 to 7 o'clock. It's FGCU out there with their boat, so they're taking pictures. So it's our neighbors right here. So FGCU, the water school's right next door to us here. So we have a good relationship. We work with them, and it's been tough for them to get back up on their feet after Hurricane Ian, and they're getting stuff done over there, so that's good. It's a good group, a good college, great college. I like it, support it. It's really local here. I do like Florida Southwestern too. You know why I like FSW? You remember Edison, right? It used to be called Edison.
Used to be, yeah.
Nothing against FGCU, okay? And just being in politics now and dealing with universities and stuff along those lines. Like, Jake, you got a GED. I got a GED. I got mine when I was 22 because a girl asked me. I don't know when you got yours.
18.
Was traveling. But I mean, hey, I tell the kids all the time, finish school. Don't listen to me. But, you can go to FSW's nursing school, okay? And you walk out of there with no debt and be a nurse. Nothing against FGCU. They do a good job. But you come out of there with some debt. And that's, community college versus, state college and stuff like that. And be honest with you, folks, I hear people all the time, your resume. You got to sell yourself. when you talk to somebody. I mean, we deal with a lot of stuff, just people coming into work and have an idea, but just in politics now, we're coming into a senior year, so you're talking to people and trying to get them involved in a house and just trying to get good people to work. And I think I'm a pretty good judge of character. I know within the first few moments, I can tell a lot about a person, and it's good. It's good, But I mean, it's just a piece of paper on a wall. At the end of the day, I mean, it hangs there and it's nice and you see it. But even there's a lot of people that go to community colleges and then transfer over, and you still get that FGCU logo or UF or FSU or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the schools do make a difference. I guess the prep schools are good because you're not putting the kid in there for the educate. I mean, they are the educating, but also the relationships that you get, because there's a lot of people that go there. So that makes sense. I'd never thought about it that way, but I guess that does make sense on that aspect. But Florida schools are tough, man. UF and FSU, they're so tough anymore that you're losing, because in those schools that you have a little bit more fun, you get those entrepreneurs, you get those those CEOs, those people that can actually relate to people and talk and whatever and kind of have an understanding. And I'm not saying anything against I got a GD. I have no grounds to say anything. I'm just an observation, me looking at the process altogether. But again, I mean, it's 10-80-10. 10% of the people drag everybody down. 80% of the people just do enough to get by. Just enough. And then 10 are overachievers. You want to be something, be that 10% on top. Because everybody else just does enough. It's just enough. Okay. It's like plants. Aggravate the hell out of me. I'm walking in here. Yesterday, one fell over because it was windy. And there's mulch on the ground. And I have like 6 guys here. Guys, pick up a brush and a broom and a dustpan. Put it in. And I come back today. So I did it yesterday. Picked up with my hands. I come back today. Now there's a pile of dirt because one tipped over. I'm like, are you kidding me, guys? Like, it just... Anyways. They do a good job. But just sometimes sometimes you just get a little much. But anyways.
See, what it is you can't, and I don't say this because you do, they all work real hard, they all do great, but something I've been trying to live by, you can't hold people to the standards that you hold yourself to, because you will be let down a lot, unless you're a bum. Then you have nothing to worry about.
It's true.
But
it's true.
I've been trying to
that's a good point. That's a good point. I like it. But yeah, I mean, it's just, certain things you're like, damn it, guys, come on.
I see that you still have the keep off the grass signs.
We left those for a while, just kind of funny. Just people ask all the time, like, hey, what's that? I go, there used to be grass there. We just left the signs. This is one of my dad's things, and that's just what we do. What grass?
So was the rocks before or after the hurricane?
No, they were here before. So the rocks stayed. So
how did that work? They
the
just
water
stayed on
just
the ground?
came up and the rocks didn't move, and so I think we were protected right here because the wind was coming out of the south. We're right next to this bridge, so I think it kind of protected. Like, this was all water. Like, there was dents on our roof, like I've showed you. There's dents out there on the roof of the house from where the boats were actually hitting this was all underwater. And we're about 5.5 feet, 6 feet right here, all underwater. All this, like, that wall was all knocked in where that door is because the boats kind of bounced around, and then you can see the floating dock. If you pull up the boat cam, you can see the floating dock out there with those boats. So we pulled everything out of the water. Every one of these boats came out of the water. We had 50 here. That time we had 75 boats. We had 50 boats here at our property. We put all out in the parking lot. And we had everything out of the water, and we put 25 at the dog track. And I remember we were pulling them out. I was like, hey, Dad, we need to pull the plugs, in case it rains. He goes, nah, leave the plugs in. It's good, it holds some water because in case of wind, it won't flip them over. Okay, whatever. And we put the boats ground. Because, we've been here since 2004 with the boat rental and boat club, and we've gone through 10 storms. And we always said the same thing, like I always talked about with Ian, ain't gonna have any storm surge. Hopefully, we've been good. But with Ian, we had storm surge.
We sure did.
It came up. So docks were all fine because the water floated over the docks because there was nothing to pull the docks out. But this floating dock was here. And there's that piling right there that's elevated, it's higher, and you can see how the top is kind of like beat up and chewed up. And it's actually torqued. So that piling's moved. So what happened is all the boats floated, bounced around, bounced off the roof of the house, went in around the canary date palms between that restroom trailer, and floated out here. And then that floating dock went over went over the concrete pilings except for that one, and opened, and everything went across the bay.
It's that piling, right?
Yeah.
If you look on your screen right now, the people that are watching, which should be everybody, because minus people on the radio, sorry, people on the radio, top right-hand corner.
Yeah,
is what
so
he's
that
talking
piling, that floating dock
You can
was
see where
level
it's
with that.
chipped out at the
And
top.
it's actually turned, like it tweaked that cement piling because all the weight from the boats blowing and stuff. And we had 2-3 boats in the middle of that island. We had 20 across the bay piled up on each other. We had a couple on that island over there, a couple on that island over there. We had boats way back there. Like, we had to start counting. I was like, where's all our boats? We had to start getting the keys and like looking where they're at because they were gone. They were all gone. Everything was floated way out there. And we actually had like a lady come over and says, "Sir, you have a rental boat in my backyard." So we had to go get it and push our lift in there, and we got it out. It was like in her pool, right in the backside of her house.
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah,
I remember
so-
talking about that.
So we was like, we got to make a tally here and see where all our boats are. But again, we had a great crew. My dad was here with the crew and cracking a whip, and I was running around the district because we got we were ground zero for Hurricane Ian, and we were open in a month, which was crazy. I mean, we were waving a white flag. I mean, waving a flag for business to say, hey, we're open, we're here. So that was great. It was good. And I remember, we had 25 boats inland. We lost about, I think, 10 club and rental boats altogether. We lost 10. Beat the hell out of everything. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. But then, what the heck? Somebody blowing here right now? Oh, it's the bug spray guy. So
It's fine.
yeah, so,
I'll get it out.
I was like,
It's actually a challenge for me.
what?
Like, yeah, come over here with a leaf
What's-
blower.
What is that noise? So
You may or may not hear it, audience, but I
There's
tried if you did.
Well, there's no seams here, so our girls get ate up. So we put like this safe stuff. It's like a menthol. They spray over everything, kind of keeps no seams away. The eucalyptus or something, because no seams are a pain. They're like very angry little bugs that spit on you and make you itch like a mother. I mean, you've been out there. I mean, Jake,
I lived on Pine Island growing up, man.
you're
It was rough.
Floridian, I mean, you're just wiping the mosquitoes off you. But mosquitoes are bigger. These little things are so small. And if you don't get, at first, like you come down here from Michigan, you're not used to them. You get like you just get ate up.
Especially when the sun dips out. As soon as the sun dips out, they
Early
just,
morning,
they come get you.
like when the sunrise or sunset, woo, I mean, you're running. I mean, I remember Julie, my general manager, when she worked for me in the legislature, we went to Sanibel for I think it was like the sunrise service, and she had like a dress on. Woo! She just got ate up. I'm like, okay. Gotta wear pants. Or long sleeves. Yeah, so that's something going on there. So, but yeah, hey, we're doing it organically. It's organic bug spray. So we're getting the full experience here. The full experience. So maybe you can hear it on the radio, maybe you can't. So, but yeah, folks. So we got a lot of good stuff down here at Baywater. Thanks for tuning in. We're back on the show. We've got a ton of boats in the fleet. We've got a lot of availability. Come on down and see us. We got skiffs, center consoles, pontoons, deck boats, twin engines, any kind of boat you want at Baywater. We have them all right here. It's a great club. I think we should probably just take a hot break real quick.
Yep, let's do that. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. The no CM sprayer has gone by. I'm sure Jake did get a video of them. Hey, this is what happens when you're working at a marina after hours here. But, the sun's out still. It's nice. I love this time of year, though. It's great. The weather's great. Starting to get some rain. I mean, my yard needs it. Damn. But, the water will start getting a little more tannic, with the mangroves and stuff like that. But, yeah, so it was good to be over in Miami. Looking forward to Hopefully next week we'll be back up in Tallahassee to get the budget done for the state of Florida. So that's a good thing. Property taxes, I think there's going to be something coming. I really do. I think there's going to be a good thing for homesteaded property owners. So, Jake, those are people that live here, that are registered here, that are Floridians. They're talking about an all full-out repeal of homesteaded property tax, making the cities and counties lose their mind, which I understand. But, I think there's a timetable. Maybe we can implement it over a few years or a set amount of years. Say, hey, this is what we got to do. We got to figure that out. The debate is, the counties and cities are like, oh, no, we can't do that. How are we going to survive? And Jake, like the governor says, 8 years ago, 7-8 years ago, he got in there. The amount of money that was collected is, I think it's like $30 billion in property taxes around the state, and now it's, 50, almost 60. So you're doubling, or 60-70% more. And I know inflation is a lot, but where's our roads? Where's our services? Pigs get fat, hogs get, what is it?
Slaughtered.
Slaughtered, so, I think there's some, I'm not complaining about my cities in my district. They do a good job. But there's some cities around the area and some counties around the area a little bit, it could be a little bit more fiscally conservative, with the money. Hey, I'm all about roads, and we need roads. I'm one proponent talking about it. It shouldn't take 2 hours from one of my boat washers that's in Lee County to drive from Bonita to Lehigh during season. And 2 hours in the morning. That's 4 hours in a car. That's ridiculous. So I think we really need to work on that. I think the MPOs for Lee, Collier, and Charlotte, I've asked them to do a study to merge. What would be the benefit for that? I think there's a lot of good things for that. You've got, Charlotte's kind of up at the top there. They got their thing. Collier's down here, and Lee is kind of in the middle, and they all go their separate ways. They look at a map, all they look is the county. Probably 60-70% of the people in Lehigh work in Collier. So that's a lot of cars going south, but they're not putting the dollars to that. So I know the state, we're working on putting a few extra lanes from, Collier to Lee, some hub lanes, which will be good, some express lanes, some tolls, but we definitely need to work on more north-south corridor, south-north corridor. It's really a bad design. It's not good. There's a lot of people who get stuck in traffic, and, it takes me 45 minutes, an hour to drive to my mom's house. This time of year I get there in 20. And I'm not complaining. We need the people. We need the people down here. That's definitely a thing. But there's certain things that, that needs to be addressed. Traveling is, the traffic is a real issue, and it needs to be addressed. So we're working with DOT, but I'm working with Bonita, with Collier, with Estero, about, maybe some more north-south corridors out further east. It'll be limited access. So I'm not talking about development. So limited access means like a toll road, and you can't build on it. It's just a road. They can make it really environmentally friendly too. They can put wildlife crossings underneath it, because that's a big deal. It's huge. We're Teddy Roosevelt Republicans out here. We're conservationists. It's like our business here. We have close to 70 boats altogether. Those are people that use the boats on the water. That's a lot less boats out there. A lot less people that are not using, their personal boats and stuff. So it's a big, that protects our areas in the long run. So there's a lot of things that we're working on, but I think that's something that we need to work on here regionally, because the roads are a big problem. I know our Congressman Byron Donalds, he's running for governor, and I'm supporting him. That roads are a big thing. Roads and traffic are a big thing for him. So I look forward to helping him with and when he wins the election in August and November. So make sure you get out the polls. And he said even if we don't get property taxes done this year, which I think we will, he's going to bring it back up next year. So that's definitely good things to happen. good things to happen, Jake. I mean, you know how the traffic is, buddy.
Don't get me started, man.
You know, I mean, it's
See,
better
here's
now
the thing,
for you.
right? So on my way over here, just for example, right? I'm leaving Gateway. I'm going towards 75. It took me 35 minutes to get to 75 to turn left. I'd have been here a half an hour earlier.
Really?
And the problem was, and it took me a minute to kind of figure it out, but it's people blocking traffic. It's impatient people blocking entire intersections. Like, it doesn't help anybody. Because I thought there was a wreck up the street.
Yeah.
But I get up the street and I see the impatience of people, right?
So
And
the
it's-
lights off cue or something.
It's literally just the simple fact that they blocked the intersection.
I think we
and
need
then
to
it
use
gets backed up 2-3 lights.
Yeah.
And then we're all sitting there.
I think we need to use some artificial intelligence for lights. You know, I don't understand. Like in the morning, why don't they just have 2 cycles going south? You know, why do they got to stop? Like, why does it got to be the same all the time? You know, all right, move the people down twice as fast. Sync up the lights so that, okay, everybody's moving south. All right, the lights all are 2 rotations south and north. Then in the afternoon, the lights are going right, so it's just 2 rotate. Instead of being green for a minute, make it green for 2 minutes. And just get. I'm sure the engineers. There's probably a good explanation of why that wouldn't work, and I'm sure people might tweet in and say that doesn't work. But you can go on Facebook, or you can go on Instagram, or you can go on our website, Carny To Congress, and you can make comments there too, carnytocongress.com, and see why. But I think that makes sense to me. Or but I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I'm just a boat guy.
I don't really know either, to be completely honest with you. But like I know that there was a guy that was I'm guessing he was changing the light or adjusting it, and we were all like super happy. And then ultimately, what it led to was us waiting at the light longer.
Well, I know like the cops can do it like on Sunday when the churches are getting out and stuff. They can control the light and it goes longer. You see them out there clicking it, and they can do that. So that's kind of a nice thing. What was that one guy who had a sender in his car, and he had it for like years. And they couldn't figure out, like it was in New York or something, that there was this anomaly. The light would just turn green, and everybody else would be red. And this guy did it for years, and he was in a truck, and they found out, okay, they finally started looking at it, and this truck was in every one, and he had some kind of sensor. So he would come in to it, and he would just hit green. I mean, hey, the juice is worth the squeeze, man, for all that time. I mean, I'm saying that's sharp. That's pretty sharp.
So this is how you do that, right? I'm not going to give away all the information, but if you take and go to the store and you buy a universal TV remote, and you use that remote, and it uses a number to program to a TV, right? So when you press the button, it sends the number. So the number inside the box over a light is probably universal, I would assume. It used to be 911. So it would send the numbers 911 to
Makes
the box.
sense. And they would make that one light green for.
But since I know that, they obviously had to change it, because there was probably a ton of people that would go out and buy these $15 remotes, and then you can just
Really?
change the light.
Well, it's like the guy. Did you see the guy? I think we talked this about already in Charles de Gaulle Airport, where he made a bet that Charles de Gaulle Airport's temperature would get above something Celsius.
Oh, prediction markets. Oh, Lord.
And there's a video of this guy with like a battery operated, something. I don't know if he had a generator or small, but he had a hairdryer, and he holds it up to where he knew where the thermostat was, the thermometer, and held it up there. He's there for like just 45 seconds, and then he walked away with like 250 grand or something. He made a bet, and he roasted the market.
Yeah, I've
That's pretty good.
Nah, it's
I mean,
pretty-
I'm sure
pretty
he's
genius.
probably dead in a ditch somewhere, but that's pretty good, man. He is able to. I'm talking about juicing a horse. That's somebody's up there. That's crazy, but pretty funny, I thought.
I've heard people using the same like idea of like when they're at an Airbnb, and if the thermostat's locked, they'll get a hairdryer and just blow it towards the thermostat, and that way the AC stays on.
Ah, that's smart. Yeah.
What has this turned into?
I don't know. It's just
We're given.
I never do this.
We do not condone any of this.
I'd never do this. Never. But that's kind of funny. That is kind of funny. I mean, every time I go to a hotel, I crank that baby down to 68.
69.
68, 69. It's just, maybe 67. 6'7", 6'7". But yeah, that's a hair dryer. That seems like a lot of work, but hey, it cools it off, I guess.
Hey, well,
Somebody's got a fire now.
the problem is they're gonna have a nice bill.
Yeah. I've done the Airbnbs. It's okay. It works sometimes. Sometimes, I don't know. There's cameras and people, like I always wear my clothes. Don't.
Why would you even want to put yourself in a position where you're going to be compromised?
Yeah.
Because it's like they could have recording devices around. There's weird people, man.
Oh,
I know you've seen them clips of the stories of people that go to Airbnbs and then like the owner comes out of a room they didn't know existed. Like, hey,
yeah, that's
like
creepy.
Didn't know this was a shared space, bud.
That's creepy. That's creepy. I have a rental. House. I'm never there. They're great renters. They're great people. They do a good job. They're phenomenal renters. Phenomenal. I don't like that word. They're great renters.
Extraordinary.
Extraordinary. There you go. That's better. Extraordinary renters, and no problems. They're good people. But I just, checks there. Good. Good to see you. Thank you very much. Have a good day. But yeah, I'm in the carnival business, so we're, in the carnival business, Carny To Congress. So there's some fairs that I go to that are out in the country, Monroe, Michigan, and there's not much around there. So I rented a farmhouse, which was pretty cool. Then this past year, I rented this house that was in downtown Monroe. It was old. Inside was nice, but the outside was like, oh God. Pull up, I'm like, oh. This is like Blair Witch Project. It's like right downtown, right next to the police station. So that was good. I was not concerned about that. It's like a nice town. It's old Lazy Boy. It's where Lazy Boy started. It was in Monroe, Michigan. I don't know how I know that, but anyways. But yeah, so that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm just not an Airbnb kind of guy. I don't know.
I don't like it.
No. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I'll do it again. But maybe if I'm at a place for a month or something, I guess.
Like the Full House Airbnb. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like Hannah Montana's house from the Disney Channel. That makes sense as the go-to an Airbnb if it's like an experience, but
yeah, like if it's a tree house, you always see the tree houses and stuff.
That would be awesome.
That'd be cool. We've got a condo that we rent out seasonally now, and it, people are good. Show up, they go out there, it's good. But yeah, I don't know, Airbnb, that's a lot. Like we've got some members like, yeah, we just do weekly. I'm like, oh.
That's got to be pricey, man.
Whew. It's probably good money, but you got to babysit those people, because stuff breaks down. I was talking to my CPA, and I was like, I'm going to do this and that, and then he goes, why? Why are you going to do that? Why do you need to do that? He goes, you're doing great. You got a good business. You're paid off this. You probably have to edit this. He goes, it's good not being somebody's bitch when it comes to banks. And
no,
I was like,
solid advice.
It's like, it's, passive income's great. He goes, yeah, but you know what? Why? Just pay off all your debt. It's good being, it's not, the market, the interest rates are too high and it ain't coming down. We got a lot of stuff going on. Like, I support the war in Iran. We need to really get done with Iran, get that over with. Bite the bullet. We've got gas here. Like I was talking to a buddy in the carnival business, $7 a gallon in Ohio and Indiana for diesel fuel, which is insane. That's a lot. Like 5 was a lot. 6 was a lot. Just to fill up my truck's $160. I'm like, damn. And it's affecting. And the market is not connected to the everyday American, right? So I was talking with a buddy of mine about that. Like, the market's up. Like, well, I don't give a shit what the market says. Real Americans are hurting. It's expensive, and we're overextended. We went through COVID and everybody bought stuff, and, we're outside and we bought boats and all that, but everybody's tight, so that's everybody. Just hold on to your money. Just take it easy. Don't get crazy, so pay down your debt, as much as you can. And go from there. There's stuff I want to buy, but just wait, we're, for people that have been here for a long time, Jake, and this, you had '08 when everything, you got restaurants here that serve crap food, right? And they still make it because they've got a season, but now you're going to see them start falling off. And then the good ones stick around. The good restaurants that have good quality food. Perfect example, Trackside Donuts over here in Bonita. We've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. It's an old place, good donuts, And it's impossible to get into that place. It's a great location, but it's impossible. Like, you got to legit break laws to get in there. Pull a U-turn. But that place is packed because they got good quality food. Good quality donuts. Like, I go in there and eat donuts. It's a good joint, but people go there because it's that good. And that's the thing where it doesn't matter. I mean, location's important. Like, it's a great location, but they're good donuts, and they've been there for a while. And I mean, you legit have to break the law to get in there. You got to do a legal U-turn, and then I mean, it's a lot of stuff. It's right there by the old dog track in Bonita. It's a staple. But I mean, that's the thing. That's what's going to happen. Probably, I see here. I mean, you're going to have stuff that's going to fall off. This summer's going to be tough. You know, you're going to have these people that are not serving quality food. You're going to have these businesses that are not serving quality, taking care of their customers. They're going to have a real problem. Because the last 5-6 years we've been on a gravy chain, and now it's going to little correction. You know, the stock market's the stock market. You know, there's kids in it. There's all kinds of people, and there's, I think, 7 companies are holding everything up. It's probably a bubble that's coming. You know, you start seeing that. You think maybe that's the truth. Who knows? You know, but AI and everything else, which I'm impressed with. This stuff's pretty wild, but I just don't see the area you can make money with it. I mean, it does make search engines a lot easier. You know, if you just, I mean, I'm not Googling stuff. I just go on the Grok. You know, Byron Donalds likes Grok. I like Grok. You know, and just put the stuff in and it comes out. It is kind of creepy though. It is a little. I'm listening to a new book now. The senator told me about it. It's Senator Broder. Pretty good. It's called. I mean, I was listening to it today on the way over. I'm a big audiobook guy. Go figure. It is the technology. What's the name of it? The Technological Republic by Alec.
Technological Republic.
The Technological Republic. So you've heard it.
No.
Yeah, okay.
But I have 14 credits on Audible. I will get it when I leave here.
Yeah, and then there's another one I got, How to Test Negative for Stupid by John Kennedy, the senator from Louisiana. He's a cool cat. He's just like, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's just,
John Kennedy.
He's good. He's just like a farmer. You know, he was a good guy. I listened to that one. Let's see. The other one I listened to is Theo of Golden. I don't know what that one is. I haven't listened to that one yet. But The Tiger is another one I'm listening to. And then I got the old go-to, The Godfather, Mario Puzo, King of Torch by John Grisham. Always good. Playing for Pizza by John Grisham. It's like always the one you can just turn on anytime you're on a car and you just want to kind of like chill out the brain, drive, and just listen to that. It's good. It's good. Come across the alley. I went over this morning on 75 to Miami, the alley, and I came back on 41. And they're doing a lot. Like, the Miccosukie's got like a legit gas station out there now on Tamiami Trail on 41. So like a legit big one. Like, I was going there, I was like, I didn't pull over. Man, I got to use the restroom. You know, I'm 42 now. I got to pee a lot. And just kidding. But was out there and it's like, oh, damn. There's like a whole big like truck stop out in the middle of on 41. Like, legit. I'm like, oh, I pull in there. I was like, how long have you guys been open? He goes, this is the first day. I was like, nice. I haven't been there in about a year, you know, but I like driving down 41 just kind of see the Everglades restoration that we're doing and the stuff from the state, a lot of things there. So it's cool. But yeah, there's like a legit gas station out there now. So that was pretty cool. So use the restroom, really nice, clean. You know, I asked the guys, do you live out here? They're like, hell no. We live in Miami. So it's like probably 30, 40 minutes outside of Miami, you know, on 41. So
there's people out here that live in Miami that come out here. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, no. A buddy of mine, he's in the legislature, Tom Fabrizio. His wife was in the DA, district attorney's office, and she would come over to Collier County instead of fighting the traffic in Miami. She would like legit drive across 75 from Broward because it's the same time for her to drive to Miami. It's like, it's better. I don't have to fight traffic. I just, you know, cruise and go from there. So it's good. How long we at? Yeah, what do we got?
Oh, we're at 20 minutes. I pulled up my phone because I was just like curious about like what books I was reading or listening to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
It's kind of embarrassing, but it's mainly Robert Greene. It's 48 Laws of Power, 33 Strategies of War. I have 50 Cent's new book, The Accomplice.
Oh really?
Yeah, I don't know what he's a great writer. I don't think he writes them or whatever, but you know,
be
still
like us
great
writing
books.
a book. You know.
Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter by 50 Cent. There's a one called Caffeine by Michael Pollan. It's kind of like the history of caffeine when it was introduced, and it's very interesting because he gives it credit for the Industrial Revolution.
Okay.
And like its discovery leading up to that and whatever. Also, The Walk by Kinji Lopez, which is like if you want to learn how to like cook Chinese food,
Oh, the walk.
listen to
okay.
that one.
Okay. I like
because
it.
I learned about like dark soy sauce and
Fish sauce.
oyster sauce.
Yeah. Yeah. All that stuff.
They have a bunch of different stuff. What's the other one? The oil that they use.
Kimchi. Like I like kimchi with sushi. It's like a red sauce. It's pickled cabbage. It kind of gets like a fermented.
I'm not sure
It's
about
called
that.
kimchi sauce. Yeah. It's Japanese, I think.
There's some kind of oil that sesame oil and a bunch of other stuff, and then there's one book I can't get off my Audible because it was given to me by the author because I voiced something in it, not knowing what it was. And then there's the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, which I have 8 hours left of that.
Wow.
Which is pretty much, it's like a manager, like if you want to, it's like if you really need help in managing people.
The suitable art of not. Yeah, that's another one. That's
Pretty much. That's a lot of what that is. Let them. Just let them.
Yeah, you gotta.
They don't like you? Let them.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. I'm going through The Secret of Secrets by Dan Brown. Like I'm a big Dan Brown fan. That's Da Vinci Code, kind of cool there. What else? All the Colors of Dark, which was pretty good. Random Walk Down Wall Street. Makes sense. Just you're gonna invest in stocks. It's not like a vending machine. You can't pull it in, pull it out. You just got to put it in and leave it and walk away. Like prepare for that thing to go to zero. That's the way it goes. Charles Dickens, The Great Expectations, I think.
What was the other book? You wanted me to read it or listen to it. It's long as hell. It's like 2 weeks long or something.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
Atlas Shrugged. That one was so bad. It's like 60 hours. I got halfway through with Reardon Steele. It's like a famous book.
Isn't that the one about like the future or like?
Yeah, it's weird. Reardon Steele and like I don't have like, I read Tip and the Gipper, so that was good. That was about Reagan and Tip O'Neill. It was pretty good. Listen to Romney's book, Toxic Empathy. was a.
That sounds like one I need to listen to.
It's interesting
because
what is that? White
fragility.
Fragility. That's the one. It was written by a crazy one. Hey, I'm here. The Gatekeepers. That's a good one. It talks about all the chief of staffs from
years
Ford,
past and
stuff.
stuff,
all the way to like Trump, the Wright brothers, which was good. John Grisham, like he was good, like earlier, but now he's just kind of woke. Don't like it. Oh, Presidents versus the Press.
That's hard to get away from.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Atlas Shrugged. Like I'm like 2/3 of the way, and I still got 30 hours left on Atlas Shrugged.
Goodness gracious.
It's like a lot. Tom Clancy, Da Vinci Code.
What's the Da Vinci Code about?
That's Dan Brown. So it's about Mary Magdalene being Jesus's wife and actually love her, so that God was actually.
Oh, so it's blasphemy. I can't listen to that.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Like, it's kind of interesting. The Art of Public Speaking. That didn't help me out. So, How to Run for Local Office. I listened to it after it ran.
What did I do wrong?
I did everything right. And that's what I got like on Audible's the best because you can just.
When are we going to write an Adam Botana book?
Carny to Congress.
Carny to Congress.
There you go.
You got the title already.
You know that, buddy. I bought that
maybe
website.
You knew it before I did.
Let's see what else. So then I go into my just when I used to buy the books. Let's see here, like crazy stuff. 81 Days Below Zero. That was an incredible story about a guy when they used to we were supplying Russia with planes during World War II. Right, we were taking them, building them in the U.S. and then shipping them to Alaska to get them over the Bering Strait into there. And so they would take these planes and they'd take them over there and they would test them in Alaska because that's the freezing tundra up there, right? And there was a plane that went down. So this, there's a group. It was on I think it was a B-29 or something. Like 8 guys went up in this plane, and they went to go look for another plane that went down. And then, the guy went to go he went to go grab the matches for the captain to light his pipe. And I think he wasn't a pilot. He was a navigator. And engine locked up. Boom. flat spin. He took his gloves off to get the matches, and he ended up bailing out of the plane. And he was the only one that made it. So luckily he had those matches, and he could actually start. I mean, you're in Alaska, so he was like, it said 31 days below 30 degrees, below 30 below. And like, there's a story about him making it out, and just like, he made it and went through frostbite, like ended up in a cabin where people would leave rations, which people did back then. I'm sure they still do it now. But he ended up out there. I mean, just a great story. Like, it just talks about university, and he walked out. It took him like 3-4 months to get out. It was a pretty good book. Elon Musk was good. You only have to be right once. That's what I think I told you about. Randall Lane, that talks about like Musk, talks about the camera guy.
Spielberg?
No.
Kubrick?
Talked about Peter Thiel.
Peter Thiel. Okay,
Talked about
sorry.
Peter Thiel. Talked about the guy who did GoPro. Talked all their little stories of how they started.
Wait, what's it called?
It's called "You Only Have to Be Right Once."
I've listened to that.
Yeah, the unprecedented rise of that. Jim Cramer. Yeah, things of the decades past. Sycamore Row. It's another John Grisham. Cuban Missile Crisis. Like, I listened to all that. Infernal, Angels and Demons. Like a lot of books. Lois and Clark. A Land Remembered, which is a good Florida one. I think that's probably one I said you should read. They're actually making a movie about it now. Unbroken, Decision Points. Like, I listened to Assholes Finish First by Tucker Max. Probably can't put that on there. We have to bleep that one. But yeah, I mean,
There's a lot of bleep in this one.
Yeah, so, but Water for Elephants kind of talks about my story. It's carnivals, but it's more circuses, but very similar. Very similar to my upbringing. Moby Dick. Oh, I actually listened to The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Yeah, I have that. Wow. Crazy.
Interesting.
I'd much rather be a gardener or a warrior in a garden than, you know what I'm talking about.
It's like, if they attack from the front, you must retreat to the rear. If they attack to the left, you must go right. I'm like, are you serious? I mean, this is the book?
That's the book.
That's the book. And we were laughing about it. If rain falls, you must put up an umbrella. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Oh, The Art of Racing in the Rain. It's Life Through a Dog's Eyes. His dad's a race car driver. It's a movie. Really good book about dogs. Like, if you like dogs, it's really good book. It's obviously in sadly, because that's like all movies, all books that have dogs in it. You're like, "Meow." But it's but yeah. And when Time to Kill, The Appeal, like, I got a lot, like, just craziness. Yeah, so just a lot, but it's just kind of wrap it up. Got it. Well, folks, thanks to hearing my audiobook collection here, and we appreciate you tuning in on Sunday morning in the podcast. Thanks for you can see us now. So, Jake, I'll let you take it away. How do we download? How do we do it? All the good stuff.
Listen, if you just subscribe to the podcast, you only have to do it one time. You'll get notified. So wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Pandora, you can just Google Carny To Congress. You can Google Adam, Mr. Boatman, Botana. The easiest way is if you go to carnytocongress.com. Everything is right there for you.
And you get the videos too. So if you download it online, we're actually online. You'll get the videos. You can see us talking about Wayabetta. So, but special thank you to our sponsors, Baywater Boat Club, family owned and operated boat club right down here in Bonita Springs. We own everything. A lot of boats. Come on down and see it. The easy way of boating. We got pontoons, deck boats, center consoles, twin engines, cabin cruisers, any kind of boat you want at Baywater. We take care of the muss and fuss. You just enjoy it. You go out there and have a good time. Have a good time with a good family. Give us a call, 239-495-0455. That's 239-495-0455. Thank you for tuning into our podcast, Carny To Congress. Jake, thank you very much. Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, the exclusive club of Southwest Florida.